Hey y'all, what's up? So, I just got done having a really in depth conversation with Jesus. I'm sorry, I'm a little shaky right now, you guys. Um, and I don't really watch the news or anything like that, and I was just scrolling through my phone and I ran across this thing that just sent chills down my spine because if you read the word of the Lord, especially in tribulation, it talks about a one world government and specifically one world currency. And I saw the video. I don't know how true it is, but they're talking about going electronically. I couldn't watch the whole video. I couldn't because I became I became scared. I became fearful. I became hurt. I became sad that I could not finish the video. Um, um, I turned it off. I turned off everything in the house and I just literally started talking to the Lord. And I could feel him saying, "It's okay. It's okay. Everything is all right." He told me I'm gonna be okay. Just to continue to love and trust him and continue to seek him. And you guys, right now, we need to get on our knees. The Lord specifically is saying this right now. Get on your knees. Pray. We need to pray. We need to pray for our loved ones. We need to pray for people we don't know. We need to pray for the people in power. The Lord is saying it's the time of prayer right now. We need to get closer to him. It's time to stop living as if there's gonna be a tomorrow on this earth. And I'm not saying that. I know every time I say something like that, people try to go nuts in the comments and try to tell me when the rapture is going to happen, and they have a bunch of scriptures to back it up. Please don't do that. Please don't do that. We know we're in the season. We can see the times we're in the season. The rapture is upon us, and you can see that tribulation is knocking at the door. Guys, I'm shaking. I'm literally just shaking because my heart is so broken. Because people don't want to hear about Jesus, or people think they know about Jesus and they don't want to hear talk about Jesus. And I'm sad. I'm happy. I really am. I'm happy because I know the rapture's gonna happen. I know I'm gonna be home with Jesus. But the Lord's really telling me right now, how do you know you have the heart of Jesus? How do you know? Because we are supposed to have the heart of Jesus. We're supposed to love like him. Guys, there is a thing called tough love, and I believe Jesus shows us tough love all the time. He doesn't give us tough love to hurt us. He gives it so we can grow and mature and we can make our own decisions. I'm having a hard time staying still, so I'm sorry. We have to make our own decisions, and the biggest decision that we're gonna have to make is right now. Jesus is asking, please stop what you're doing right now. Fall on your knees and pray, and have not just a prayer, but have a conversation with Jesus. Have a conversation with him. Guys, I feel like I'm on the verge of crying, because I know that I could possibly leave my husband behind. I could leave my brother, my sister. I don't know who's all truly going to heaven. I know where I'm going. But you never truly know who's going. And Jesus is saying, please pray for them. Get on your knees and pray for them. Have a conversation with Jesus. Have a conversation. Tell Jesus that you're sorry for everything. Tell Jesus that you love him. Tell him that you're sorry. Be open, be honest with him. And Jesus is saying, do that every single day. Do it every single day. Talk to him. Jesus is saying, come on, have a conversation with me. Even if it's just a 2-second ride to the doctor, or 2-second ride to work, or whatever. Jesus is saying, even when you're on the toilet, when you're in the shower, before bed, invite me in everything that you do. Have me in everything that you do. Jesus is saying, I need to get closer to you. Come on. Let's get closer. Let's be best friends. Let's have a relationship. Because Jesus went to Calvary so we can have a relationship. Jesus is saying, be grateful for what you have. Because, think about it this way. You may not have much on this earth. Because if you truly love the Lord, you have to be willing to give up everything. And you have to understand the reality of what we, as children of the Most High, Jesus Christ, who died on the cross to save us so that we could go to heaven. He paid the debt we could never pay, because the sin is too great and the price was too much that we honestly could never do. We could never pay it. But Jesus went to the cross, and he was the only one that could pay our debt. And he paid it for me and for everyone in the world. And it's sad that people in this world choose not to accept Jesus. They choose not to accept the gift of salvation and love and grace and mercy. And they choose not to accept the fact that heaven is so real and hell is so real, and that tribulation is truly knocking at our door. Guys, we're in that time where we need We need to have a relationship. We need to throw religion out the window. And Jesus is saying, get into a relationship with me right now. Don't get into a religion. Get out of religion and get into a relationship. If you don't understand the Bible, ask him to show you the Bible. Ask him to give you knowledge and wisdom and understanding. And trust me, he will do that for you. He will, because he loves you. Jesus loves you and he wants you in heaven. For me, Jesus is saying that it's time to prepare your home. Prepare. And how do we prepare? We get closer to Jesus. We have a relationship with him. And the devil's right there when you're talking to Jesus. Rebuke him. Remind him of his future. Let him know that even when when the 7 years of tribulation will begin and he thinks he's in charge, let him know that we are praying for our loved ones that are going to be left behind, and he's not fully in control. Let him know that we are the children of the Most High God, and he has no power or authority over us. Even though we stumble and we fall, we need to get close and have an intimate relationship with Jesus, because that's the only way we're going to make it through this life. It's the only way we're going to get to heaven. And right now, it's a hard decision. It's really a hard decision to honestly choose Jesus. It seems easy, but it's actually very hard to choose Jesus. And I'm going to tell you why right now. Because our loved ones, we love them so much. Like, I love my loved ones so much. I love my nieces. I love my nephews. I love my sister. I love my mom. I love my dad. I love my step-parents that I love the people who have come into my life who I don't necessarily have anything to do with because they're just too toxic for my life. But I love them enough to pray for them. And I believe that I do honor my family and I honor my parents by praying for them and loving them and letting Jesus know that even though I don't talk to them, I still want them in heaven with me. Because nobody's perfect. But sometimes you gotta take the toxic out of your life in order to get closer to Jesus. I've noticed before I started really walking with Jesus, I had a ton of friends. Now I really just have my husband. My husband's my best friend now. Like, the closer I get to Jesus, the less people I have in my life. The less friends I have. Because Jesus, on this earth, my husband is my best friend. But in all actuality, Jesus is my best friend. And my husband falls second to him. Like it should be. But when I get to thinking of all the people, even the people who have hurt me, even the people that have done me wrong, I get to thinking, family, and I love them so much. I love my family so much. And it makes me sad and hurt because it literally makes me want to say, Jesus, can I please take them with me? Please just make an exception. Let me take them with me. Let me take them to heaven with me, even though they haven't chosen you, even though they rejected you. That's how you know you have a heart for Jesus. That's how you know you have the heart of the Lord. Because honestly, Jesus loves us so much. He loves us so much that he went to Calvary. And he knew that everybody wouldn't go to heaven. He knew that we would fall short of his glory. He knew we would stumble. He knew we would fall. He knew we would be toxic at times. He knew what would be. But he loved us enough to go to Calvary. He loved us enough to say, even if they reject me, I'm going to forgive them of their sins. I'm going to die so that they have the opportunity to go to heaven. All they have to do is receive it and have a relationship with me. And it truly breaks my heart that some amazing people on this earth that are truly amazing, they've rejected Jesus. And I have to leave them here, knowing how much I care for them. All because they chose not to love and accept and run after Jesus. I don't want to leave people behind in the 7 years of tribulation. I don't want them to see them take the mark of the beast. I don't want them to be here for a one world government, one world religion, one world currency, one world religion. I don't know if I just said that. I don't want them to see the Antichrist. I don't want them to have to deal with all of that, because I don't want them to. I want them in heaven. And like, I have a lot of things on this earth too that I really don't care about. It's not really the stuff, it's the memories. Like, I have a few things that remind me of my grandparents who are no longer with me. And I know this is going to be kind of horrible to say, but I truly believe that one of them is in hell and one's in heaven. And that truly breaks my heart, because I want to see them both in heaven. And honestly, I would love to hug both of my grandparents in heaven. I would love to. But I have a feeling I'm only going to get to hug my grandpa in heaven. And that's reality. I think and I know there's some other family members that I'm not going to see in heaven, even though I want to. Guys, we're basically there. Don't know the day, the time, or the hour, but it's knocking at our door. I have made a very hard decision to give up all of my earthly belongings. Well, I guess I shouldn't say give up. I mean, it is give up, but let's go ahead and reword that. I have made a decision that is really hard. And I will make this decision every day of my life. And I hope you can make the same decision. Number 1, to have a relationship with Jesus. Include him in everything that I do. Knowing that I am not going to be perfect and I am going to need him. Knowing that He doesn't need me, He wants me. But I need Him, and I want Him. Knowing that I don't deserve Him, but I am so grateful to have Him. Knowing that if when I am called from this world, whether it be through a death or the rapture, knowing that all of my earthly possessions, from the things I've inherited from my grandparents, to the items my husband's given me for birthdays and, other things, knowing that I am leaving it all behind. My clothes, shoes, everything. And making the decision to say, Jesus, you blessed me with these earthly belongings. Please use them in these 7 years of tribulation to help people during the 7 years of tribulation who have chose to wake up, refuse the mark of the beast, and chose to serve you. And that's what we need to do. And this is what you guys need to listen to, this whole thing. Jesus is telling us to do this, and we should. And this is how we make our decision. The right decision. The wrong decision is to reject Jesus and take the mark of the beast in the 7 years of tribulation. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. I wasn't called to sugarcoat it. And the last thing that I believe is honestly the hardest thing. But it is part of making your decision, and you need to wake up every day and make this decision over and over and over again. And let Jesus know about it every day. Every day. You've already went through your worldly possessions and everything else. The people that you love. You have to be willing to leave them behind. You have to let them make their own decision. And you can't shove Jesus down their throat, because you can't make the decision for them. All you can do is ask Jesus to please allow you to show Jesus. And you need to pray for the people that you love, that if they are left behind in tribulation, that it'll wake them up, and that they will seek to find Jesus, and that they will have the strength to resist the mark of the beast and be willing to die at the hand of the Antichrist in order to get into heaven so we can see them. This is hard. This is so hard, and a lot of churches will not even talk about it. I've never been to a church that says this is going to be hard. Making a decision to follow Jesus is hard because of these things. And you have to be willing to say, Jesus, I give it all to you. Use it for your kingdom and your glory. As hard as it is for me to leave the people that I love in this world behind to follow you, all of my earthly possessions, things that have so much memory rooted in them. It's okay to have things on this earth as long as you're willing to give it to the Lord and be ready to want to leave everything behind to be with our Father in heaven. Because let me tell you something, Jesus sacrificed everything for us. We need to be able and willing to sacrifice everything for Him. We need to mean it when we say, Lord, take my life and let it be all for you and your glory. That's not just words that you say. You have to mean it. And believe me, it will hurt to mean that. Especially when you know what you are giving up. You're giving up people you love. You're giving up items that have a lot of value to them. Like, I have these plates. And let me tell you, they are my grandparents' plates. I won't even let my husband eat off of them. Because they're precious to me. But Jesus is more precious than those plates. I have my grandpa's truck, and I want that thing up and running is so bad. And I did get to drive it for the very first time. And Jesus has used that truck to make me feel like I got a piece of my grandpa back. And let me tell you, Jesus uses objects to help with grief and different things. But there comes a time when you have to say, okay, here you go. It's yours, Jesus. You gave it to my grandpa, who gave it to my dad, and then you allowed me to have it. Now, here you go. Use it for your kingdom and your glory. Use it for your kingdom and your glory. We are called to use and give everything that we have back to Jesus and let it be used for his kingdom and his glory. And let me tell you one thing that I believe that will... I know it hurts the heart of Jesus because it hurts my heart to say I'm willing to leave the people I love behind. I'm willing to leave everything in this world behind for Jesus. There is no third option. It's either you choose everything in this world and you deal with the 7 years of tribulation and you can take the mark of the beast and spend an eternity in hell, or you can give up everything on this earth. Give your life to the Lord and not have to experience the 7 years of tribulation. And we can live for Jesus. And we can pray, knowing how tough the decision is. The question is, are you ready to make this tough decision? Because it's knocking at the door. Time's running out. Jesus is waiting your decision. If you want to give your life to the Lord, it's so simple. People say you need a sinner's prayer, but honestly, I'm starting to believe that all you have to do is just say, turn off everything, make it quiet, and say, Jesus, here I am. I'm a sinner. I'm sorry. Please, Jesus, help me turn my life around. Show me your word. Help me understand your word. Lord, help me have a relationship with you. Help me to seek you. Help me to find you. Ask him for help. Say, Jesus, I want you to control my life. I want you to use me. Clean me up. I don't want to be the old man. I want to be the man that you've created me to be. Be the woman or the man that you have called me to be. Guys, it's in your ball court. I can't make it for you. I want to, but I can't. So Jesus is asking, what do you choose? Because the choice you make will land you either in heaven, or you will be stuck on this earth to deal with the 7 years of tribulation. And you'll know when the 7 years of tribulation are upon you, because a bunch of people are going to go disappearing all at once all around the world in a twinkling of an eye. We will be living our everyday life. People who need me, people who rely on me, will no longer have me. And that kind of breaks my heart. Because I want to be there for the people I love. But I love Jesus more. And I want to be with Jesus more. But why I am here on this earth, I want him to use me, and I don't know. To be used by Jesus, for him to use you for his kingdom and his glory, it doesn't necessarily mean that he has something huge and in the spotlight planned for your life. He may just have something simple planned for your life. Maybe you're called to just show his love. Maybe you're called to just smile at people. Maybe you're just called to make blankets for the homeless or the nursing home. Maybe you're called to make pies and give them to people. Maybe you're called to just be in a soup kitchen. Like, there are so many roles, and honestly, what I've learned is no role of showing the love of Christ is too small. Because when you look at the grand picture, all of us working together in our own little roles that Jesus has assigned to us, you're part of the bigger picture, and the bigger picture of Jesus is incredible. Like, I can't even imagine it. And I've only got to see little glimpses of it here and there. But Jesus makes beauty from the ashes, and he takes just the smallest little thing that you do, and he turns it into something so incredible. Like, you can't even imagine what Jesus can do with just one little act. Alright, guys. That is what I have to say today, and I hope that you listen, and I hope that you make the right decision. I'm going to tell you what the right decision is, but then I'm going to let you make up your mind. What do you think the right decision is? The right decision is choose Jesus. Give your life to him. Start living for him. Jesus will clean up your life. All you have to do is stop and say, Jesus, I need you. Father always comes running after you. You don't run after him, he runs after you, and he'll clean up your life. He'll change you. He will make you whole. I want to see you in heaven, but if you choose that this world is better, then I wish you luck in the 7 years of tribulation. And I hope that you do wake up if you choose not to follow Jesus, and that you will wake up in the 7 years of tribulation, and that you will have the strength to say no to the mark of the beast. And that you will be willing to die at the hand of Antichrist to be in heaven with Jesus. Alright, guys, I'm going to get off here. Bye.